Okay, hello guys and welcome back to the stream. I'm going to be a alerts right now on Discord. I'm just going to be watching the market. That's all, pretty simple. So see you guys soon. So we got an interesting rotation at open. We had tech stocks doing very well, like carrying the market right now. Like look at Amazon, Apple, and then the small caps and Dow struggling, like banks and airlines. So AAL actually is below support now. So this is actually the bearish zone for AAL right now. So this is extremely bearish as of right now. It will be interesting to see how we close for AAL. I'm still setting up the stream, so I'm just going to be watching the market. That's all, just testing. Let's look at GME. Yeah, so GME. So yeah, we were right at support for AMC. So again, calls above right over here. Starbucks. So we got an interesting. Okay, so Starbucks is, this is our stop loss right over here. If we close below, so we have a red candle on the close below this, we are cutting it as of right now. I am still holding it. Hello guys. Yeah, so tech is basically carrying the market right now. Starbucks is, we're still waiting on the support, but yeah, tech is going crazy right now. I mean, we're breaking out of the downtrend. We have Baba right over here. Tesla, I'm watching this gap. I would set a alert for the gap right over here. Right when we enter the gap, I'll be alerting calls for Tesla. That is how I play gaps. Yeah, thank you for everyone for joining. I am watching the chat right now, so I could just say welcome. But for Tesla, yeah, I'm watching this gap right when we alert. I'm entering in calls, so I can like set alerts on TradingView, which is pretty sick. I can set a alert right over here, and then you can also send it to a email or your app. So that's actually pretty sick. We do have a gap down below, but again, we don't have to fill it. It can be a breakaway gap, which means it's actually the start of a uptrend for Tesla. And yeah, so basically tech going for all-time highs. That is what I'm seeing for Amazon, Apple. You know, I kind of wanted a red day, but again, we don't like have to fully like wave 4 can be this small for Apple right over here. So, oh shoot. So again, this can be the wave 4, which is pretty small. So something like this, 2 all-time highs. Yeah, small account is actually pumping right now. We're past like 1,500. Let's look at Spot. Yeah, Spotify, you know, all the tech stocks and most of the stocks look like this right now, where we have the breakout. So this one kind of broke out already, something like this. I also look at the volume for confirmation. We had some nice volume right at the breakout. Let's look at some other tickers. So again, we had Twitter calls on the small account challenge, but I sold Twitter to get into Apple because I had a very big position in Twitter. So I sold that in Apple because I just thought, you know, Apple just looks like a way better play. I'm also looking at like the month for Apple. So yeah, let's look at the small account challenge right now. We should be at 1.5k on the small account challenge. Yeah, so we're almost at 1.6k. So we're up 20% just today off Apple. And I'm buying Starbucks because we actually have Starbucks calls right over here. So I'm watching the support carefully. You know, it's holding support as of now, and I'm still holding this. We have 2 tracks for Starbucks. Starbucks Spot. Okay, so we're also at this bull flag breakout for Apple. You know, my price target for this would be like 137 this week. Our next resistance is right over here, and so this is our next resistance for Apple, which is like 137. So I could just make a line. So right around over here looks good for the next resistance. Let's look at Fastly. So Fastly trying to go for this gap. It's like 70 price target for this week. I would say my next alert on Fastly would be actually right at the gap entry for a swing or day trade. Yeah, so Starbucks holding the support very well as of right now. I was surprised we got a mini rotation at open. You know, banks. Oh my god, banks and all the airlines and Dow just getting killed right now in Texas. So AAL looks very, very interesting. This whole chart looks very interesting because we broke this major support, and same with BA. I think airlines are taking a hit right now. Oh, we gapped down on some airlines. So we gapped down on some airlines. I think we had some news over the weekend. Let's just head over to CNBC. This. Yeah, so Disney, I would say, is part of the Dow since it's kind of like a mix, you know. Same with Starbucks. Starbucks is like a restaurant type, so I would say it's part of the Dow. Like, so let's look at CNBC right now. I'm pretty sure we had some airlines news over the weekend. As BA, AAL to all act up. So we had this inverse head and shoulder for BA. Very interesting. So this thing, if we close at the resistance, we can get a flag breakout at open. we had this descending triangle. I remember playing this descending triangle. The thing about, any pattern is it can be bullish or bearish depending upon where we break out. So for Disney, we broke down, as you can see right over here. You could have played this to the upside if we broke up. So I think I did some like scalps like right over here on Disney. Snap setup. Yeah, Snap had a very nice setup a while ago. Pins filled this gap. I'm watching Wish at this level, so I would set a alert like right over here. The alert right over here sounds very nice. We have this inverse head and shoulder breakout, and overall extremely bullish on memes. AMC, GameStop, Wish, Corsair. So as you can see, I talked about AMC on the weekly watch list, saying, we're at a major support, so we should see some sort of pump at open. And another very interesting thing about AMC was, so if you look at the volume, so if you can see the last like 3 candles for AMC, we had insane amounts of volume before close. So same with GameStop, we had huge volume before close. And let's look at Apple. Yeah. So our count is at like around 1,600. We're up around 20% just today on the small account challenge. And then the second small account challenge, we're still holding Starbucks. Starbucks is a nice play. We just got a mini rotation at open. So I'm watching the support level. If it doesn't hold, I'm looking to cut Starbucks. It's very interesting. Starbucks, we had BA. Yeah, so airlines are pretty much dying right now. So AAL is completely dead. I was going to actually make a video on AAL, but we have to see how we close out on AAL. It's too early to call because we have to see the closing candle whenever we want to get in. So UAL, AAL, DAL. So the top 3, or you could just watch JETS, which is like the ETF. So as you can see, we broke the watching this as the buy zone. Yeah, BA had some news. So we do have a gap up, but as you can see, is this 24.14 SPY staying. So let's look at 5-minute. SPY's red off Dow. So we also have Dow. So it's trying to find a bottom. We're kind of bear flagging right over here for the Dow. The Dow is industrial ETF, so something like more restaurants, airlines. Okay, if we can close above back to support, I think it's our low chance that we do that, because after the news we got, like, the candle is huge. We have a big red candle right on AAL. The RSI is, I'm also looking at this bottom on the RSI, so 32.82 on the RSI for AAL. And Starbucks holding the support very nicely. So I would cut Starbucks if we close below the support, is where I would cut Starbucks. I'm holding this play for right now. So Yeah, Apple is doing very. I'm actually surprised. In the watch list, I said I was bearish for tech on Monday and bullish on Dow. So again, I can't always be right, but we had some news on airline, the results for the banks. Um, After close, so 25 minutes after close, I think, for banks, so we do have these stress results, bank stress test results, 20 close. So I'm still watching banks, XLF. XLF is the financial ETF, so the most biggest banks. I was looking at C, and we have this nice gap, so I would set a alert right over here. Okay, I would set a alert for C. Okay, calls above this for C, but we don't always break it the first time. It might actually take multiple times, and then we break this. So that's why it's always important you get some time on your contracts. Let's look at the Starbucks position, because again, I'm still in Starbucks. I'm going to be scaling in some more. Let's check my swim account. So we're down 12% on our 2-week expiration for Starbucks. So let's see how we close. That's the main thing for Starbucks to see. Wow, Apple's still pushing. Apple and Amazon. Yeah, Amazon needs. If we don't, we're going back to the next supports, like right around over here. But my projection is a wave number 4 and then a wave number 5 to all-time highs. That is my projection. So I also have my waves for Tesla. So I'm looking at the gap play for Tesla, long above 724, price target 713. Oh my, okay. Memes are on high watch. I'm looking at calls above this area, or even shares. Starbucks looking to hold this support. So we kind of had a gap fill on DIA. So yeah, we filled this gap, almost like 90% of the gap right on DIA. So that was the next support. You have to understand that gaps can also act as support, which is very interesting. And again, I'll be trying to actually make a gaps video later on. Let's look at Doge. I don't think I ever played Doge, but I usually do crypto. I have my own strategy for crypto. I actually made a video on that, but usually buying or playing cycles and buying at all-time highs, like right over here. These are called cycles, like every year or so. So I don't usually play crypto or even like leverage crypto. AAL is not bouncing. It's getting very ugly for AAL and Boeing and all the airlines. Banks should be carrying Dow. Let's look at HD, Home Depot. So we have this or Peloton. So Peloton, we had this breakout. So we had the downtrend breakout right over here. We retested the support, and we're kind of in this uptrend. We're sitting at major resistance. We can reject over here for the right shoulder, a possible inverse head and shoulder. Speaking about inverse head and shoulder, I'm looking at Wish for a play. Meme stocks look very, very strong right now. I was watching IWM small caps, and I'm looking at calls above this area. It is a major resistance, so it might take a couple of times to do that. We also kind of have like inverse head and shoulder, like a deformed inverse head and shoulder, like left shoulder head, and then the right shoulder. Starbucks is flat right now. So mostly just it needs to hold the support. So as you can see, change this line. It held my support perfectly right over here. We had a nice bounce. But this can be a bear flag, so we have to retest it multiple times. Yeah, airlines are dying right now, which I'm pretty disappointed on because I was going to make a video on AAL. That whole chart kind of just broke down. You can see like right over here we gapped down, and we're just in this downtrend now. And so I'm watching the next supports level, right over here. So I'll be canceling the video on AAL and going to be making a video on CRSR. CRSR is a great long-term, in my opinion. The overall chart looks very nice. Something like a growth stock. I would call CRSR a growth stock. For NEO, we have multiple gaps to the upside. So again, every gap that you see on the daily, I would set alerts to. If you guys don't know how to set alerts, you can go to tradingview.com and just put an alert at gap entry or even gap fill. And you can just set a alert, send it to your phone, notify it on the app, or send a email. Over here, Apple, hoping to get a rotation back into down now. Okay, Starbucks bear flagging right over here. So this looks like, yeah, it's a pretty, yeah, Dow is just bear flagging right now. Let's see how it goes. Tesla, Apple has a nice flag right over here, and then Microsoft flagging. Yeah, it's very interesting. Definitely was not expecting this rotation on value. I never alerted AAL on Discord. Did mention it in the watch list though, to hold this support. So we kind of had this, I should chart this out. Kind of had this bear flag on AAL. Yeah. Starbucks. So I'm looking at this chat right now on YouTube, and the support is at 112.38. That is the support I'm watching for Starbucks to hold. So we just need to hold this support for Starbucks. So I'm watching. Starbucks is dumping because of the rotation into growth and tech. So as you can see, tech up and Dow is going down. So it's just a rotation, everything can't go up at the same time. We just have these sectors So the best thing to do is diversify, or just to look at all of the charts. And we had all of the tech stocks, and I made a whole video on tech stocks, why they look bullish. And so it's paying us back. Tesla is the next play. Wow, Fastly looks very nice. So this is the next resistance for Fastly. Not in Fastly yet, just watching, but I did have a alert right over here for the symmetrical triangle. This is the price target number 1 on Fastly. Twitter, okay. Twitter red. Well, I would set a alert right over here for Amazon. That would be the channel breakout for Amazon. Very. So 137 price target for Apple. That would be 80% on our contracts. 80% on the small account challenge. So let's look at our small account challenge. So we're at 1,544 on the small account challenge as of now. Keep in mind that if Apple hits all-time highs by July 30th, that's a 200% on our contract. So I'm confident on that, because we also have the earnings run up. So the earnings run up and the Apple event hype. So my indicator on SPY actually got banned for like a stupid reason. I wasn't explaining how it worked. It's like somewhere right over here. So there's like a notification somewhere over here about the script. So so right over here. I think this stream can't see it, but yeah, it's just stupid reasoning. I'll post it later, probably next week. But it's a powerful script. Keep in mind that it works mainly on trend. Okay, so after the crash, we had a very strong trend on SPY. So just be careful. I'll try publishing it next week or later on Thinkorswim or some other platform. Ford. Okay. So let's look at Ford. So let's chart out Ford right over here. What I'm seeing is a downtrend. So I'm looking at this as the resistance. So we can probably see something like this. This is our next major support for Ford. So something like right over here, the next major support for Ford. So I would consider scalping calls on Ford right at this level, 14.38. And then we can probably get like a descending triangle. We either break to the downside and fill this gap. So we have this gap right over here. I would set a alert for this gap. So right over here, boom. Or we can break to the upside. That would be a downtrend breakout. So either way, but I'm watching this gap level. I think it should be, something like this. Yeah, Ford is still overextended. And then we could probably get like a double bottom on the RSI. Yeah, Ford GM. My Apple price target is all-time highs. Just got that in the DMs. So 146 is my all-time highs. So all-time highs, that would be a 200 on the account. And keep in mind that our goal is 5% a week on the small account challenge. So we're above our goal right now. Kind of see like inverse side on shoulder, like left shoulder, like a head, and then a right shoulder. Yeah, QQQ is going nuts. So it's hitting the RSI right now. So let's change the colors to like blue. So as you can see, it's hitting the RSI right over here, but the momentum is very, very strong. We can get something like the September, what we saw in August, just very strong push to the upside, like on SPY, back in September or August. But I always use the EMA. I made a whole video on the EMAs. So the next support for SPY that I'm watching is the 21 EMA. So around 422. I would only watch that if we had like Powell talking or like CPI data going into next month or unemployment data. We do have the gaps down below, but keep in mind that the gaps down below, these can be a sign of start of a uptrend. So that's called a breakaway gap when we're breaking away to start a uptrend. So for example, we had one on Tesla. This can be a breakaway gap. If we actually look at SPY, all of this is a breakaway gap right over here. So very nice. Let's look at Starbucks. Okay, so it's bear flagging right now, and it's breaking this bear flag. So I'm watching this very carefully. Let's close this out. So I'm watching the support. So as you can see, this downtrend breakout is what I'm watching for Starbucks. PLTR. Okay, so PLTR is breaking out. It's curling back up. So I have my old chart right over here. But we were in this accumulation phase, and now we're breaking out and curling back up. So I'm watching this gap for PLTR. So like price target 32 is what I'm looking at. Calls right at gap entry. So I would set a alert right at the gap entry. Okay, so right over here, calls above, and then this would be our price target for PLTR. So this is what I'm looking to play on PLTR, probably in like 2 weeks. Yeah, PLTR looks nice. I think it's going to be using it as obviously the resistance the first time we hit the gap. So let's look at the path. So something like, probably even like retest the support. Like our next support is right over here. So and then fill the gap. So this would be our support. Wish is getting very close for the inverse head and shoulder breakout. I do have a alert for Wish, so I'd be getting calls at the breakout. Is Tesla going down? Personally, I am bullish on Tesla. We have this breakaway gap, and then we have this gap to the upside. I'm looking at calls above 724 and price target 730. Originally I had a alert for the ascending triangle right over here. But yeah, personally bullish on Tesla, bullish on like the whole tech sector. Let's look at Starbucks. So let's look at Starbucks. We are close. The close is what it matters for Starbucks. Then EIL. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Uber. Very. Dropbox. I also have this gap charted out for Fubo, so I'm watching to play this gap on Fubo. So I would set a alert right over here. I already have a alert. Just set a alert for all the gaps, and then later on you could probably do your own plays. We also have another gap on Redfin. So Redfin, another interesting one. We broke out of this downtrend and we retested it, and we're sitting at a bull flag breakout right now. So XOM also took a hit. It kind of goes with Dow, so also took a hit. So pretty much tech is the one carrying the market right now. So let's look at so tech and utilities is carrying the market right now. Everything else is pretty much red. So I have all the ETFs. We have tech, real estate, energy, and then we have the consumer. We have XLU for the utilities. Let's look. Interesting. So banks are on high watch after market close, so 25 minutes after close. We have the stress test results. So Starbucks is at support. Okay, this is where I'm watching closely now, because if you break this, I'm right over here is the next level that I am watching. Okay, so this is actually a nice scale and zone for Starbucks. So we had this gap which we filled. It's acting as a support. And let's look at the hourly. Okay, so we need to hold this. And we need to close above the support. So this is what I'm looking at for Starbucks. What would be a good contract for Tesla right now? I would personally recommend spreads on Tesla, because loading it, because Tesla calls are expensive, and I just don't want to tell you guys, and so I would prefer spreads 2 weeks out on Tesla. I'm loving this gap fill on Tesla. So we did have some bad news on Tesla. I think they pulled back 300,000. So let's just check out CNBC. Yeah, so good. So we had this news on Tesla, and yeah, we're up 2%, 2.5% today. But pretty bullish on Tesla. We have that nice gap fill. I'm setting an alert right over here, calls above this area. If you guys have any tickers, just let me know in the comments. Apple 5-minute looks. Wow. So look at this flag right over here on Apple. Interesting. So we have this flag on Apple, which I'm watching. My Starbucks stopped out. And I'm watching right over here for this close. We are at the 5-minute RSI for Starbucks. So watching it right over here carefully. This is kind of like the wick out zone where if we set a stop loss right over here, we can get wicked out because we're already down so much for the day where it'll just act as a support. Watching for a wick. The main thing I'm looking for is the close. The close and the volume at close is what I'm looking at for Starbucks. We also have major support on the RSI right over here. So I can actually like chart support and resistance on the RSI like right over here. It's kind of like that demand zone. So I'm looking to, I had a small position in Starbucks. I'm looking to actually get in more right over here and alerting on Discord. Tesla had some news. Dow is falling. I'll be making a more in-depth video on rotations. We have multiple sectors which I look at, and we had the IWN, the small caps, which I'm watching for this month or this week. I would set an alert right over here. Again, I made a whole video on the watch list, so let's close this out. I made a whole video. If you guys haven't watched the weekly watch list, I made a whole video on it, so just make sure to watch. So right over here, weekly watch list. So we had like top 10 stocks on the weekly watch list. I am starting to edit out my videos and thumbnails, so I'm hoping we get some better content for you guys on Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. Yeah. Next support for BA, please. So I'm looking at the chat. Okay, so let's look at BA. So we're kind of already sitting at support for BA right over here. But I would look at 240 for the next support, and then I'm definitely setting a alert for BA for this gap play. So in the future, when we enter the gap, I will be alerting a play for BA. So just a heads up for that. I'm loving this gap. Yeah, I'm loving this gap on BA. It's a 1.5% gap, so I'm definitely looking to play it. Let's look at if Apple broke out. Wow, Apple is about to break out right over here. Wow. So watching this breakout level on Apple right over here. If you wanted to scalp, this would be a great time, but personally I'm not scalping because this would be like a good 0-day expiration scalp. A week is not enough. Space daily. Wow. Yeah, I think Space had some news. Okay, a massive cup and handle on Space, and I think I've played the cup and handles before, like somewhere right around over here. But what I'm looking at for space is the rejection for right over here, and then the handle support at gap entry, and then break to all-time highs. And keep in mind that space version galactic goes with meme stocks, and they are actually going to space. I think they have a flight somewhere over the summer, so that's a huge catalyst. I've played this stock many times before. I'm watching a rejection at the cup, and then hopefully we can get a bigger pullback to enter in calls to play of the cup and handle. So I'm loving this play. Definitely setting a alert. This does go with the meme stocks, so very interesting. Over here, ATVI, Activision Blizzard. Now I had this charted out. So we have this gap for Activision Blizzard, and I'm looking to play calls above 99.83. So 99.83 price target, 100.65 on Activision Blizzard. Okay, so let's look at Apple. So Apple is at the breakout level. So let's look at the 5-minute for Apple. This breakout looks very nice. Okay, so on the 5-minute, we closed above the resistance. So definitely seeing. We're almost at 1,600 on the small account challenge. Let's look at Starbucks. Keeping an eye on Starbucks closely. Apple is flagging nicely right over here. Breaking out. So we're in the money for Apple. We had the 129 call. So we're in the money. And we're up 54% on the small account challenge. Yeah, so Activision, I'm watching that gap play for Activision. I'm looking at calls at the gap entry and price target 100.65, and the support, the major support is right over here. We have this channel. I remember playing the cup and handle on the weekly, so we actually had a cup and handle a while ago, as you can see. So leaps. So we actually also have this like triangle. Let's cut this out now. I already have a alert for it. So what the? Okay, so let's delete. So like this. This is my Activision chart. Can you take a look at SPY? So let's look at SPY daily. So SPY gapped up 2 times. I would normally play this gap, but this can be a sign or start of a new uptrend. So as you can see, like right around over here, these are called breakaway gaps. So breakaway gaps are it's a sign of a uptrend. So it's breaking away to start a uptrend. And I'll be making an in-depth video on that. We have multiple breakaway gaps. You know, some right around over here. And you know, like right around over here. So this can be start of a uptrend for like 450 on SPY. And again, SPY is overextended, but you know, it's just market cycles. Like, we have them right over here, and obviously we are going to be getting a bigger correction, but personally I'm still watching that 450 level 4 spot, and then we should be getting a major pullback, you know, when inflation starts to kick in a little bit more. Wow, it's got Apple again. Did Apple break? Can you take a, let's look at Netflix. Oh my god. Chart. So I had a chart for Netflix, which was the downtrend. And again, all the tech stocks look very bullish. We're breaking out of this downtrend with a very nice breakaway gap. So as long as if you have time, you are good in my opinion. Same with Netflix. You know, Netflix and Tesla, you know, looking very similar. But the thing about Netflix is we have very nice earnings gaps, like 547 price target for Netflix. KBC. Wow. Well, what is this? So Gold Corporation. So I've been actually watching gold, and gold is actually still in a downtrend. So I'm still looking to, you know, flatten out a bit. But for KGC, we had this gap, and the. So I think I had a chart for gold. So let's look at gold right over here. Watching this, or silver. Silver actually has a very nice gap, which I would set a alert for right over here. And VIC. Wow. Okay, so VIC looks interesting. We're sitting at the accumulation phase. So the accumulation phase is like after the uptrend, we have a downfall, and then we have a phase where people buy in for the long term, or they start slowly. So right over here, we can see we had massive volume on the sell right over here, and we're getting more volume. Okay, so more volume than we were going up right over here. So people are actually buying in slowly for VIC, and we're on this channel. So we're on this channel, and we broke out of this. So we're kind of forming this massive cup. We're forming a massive cup on VIC right now. So, oh my god, the RSI just shot up. So accumulation phase, you know, we saw that with PLTR right over here, you know, just some random volume pops and golden sweeps. I also saw it with Peloton. For example, Peloton is a very good example because we had massive volume right over here, like at the bottom zone. So at the major support, we had some massive volume. That is another reason why I've played Peloton. I think I mentioned this video, so I actually made a video on Peloton somewhere over here. So I made a video on Peloton, and we were playing this gap fill, which we filled right over here. Okay, Starbucks is, wow, Apple is going nuts. Okay, looking at so I'm looking at Starbucks right now. I'm just watching carefully. We're almost at 1,600 on Apple. Wow, so that Apple breakout was very nice. We had this ascending triangle pop. on the 5-minute. Price target is 137 for this week. That would be a nice 80% on Apple. Again, AMC, as I said in the video, we're sitting at major support for AMC. So I'm looking to play the breakouts on AMC. So right over here, AMC looks very interesting. Another thing to keep in mind is that we have to watch the volume when we break out, because when we break out, we want to see a surge in volume. It's just going to be it's going to attract more buyers coming in. Closing Starbucks, or are you planning to average down? So for Starbucks, let's get Starbucks. So we broke the support right over here, and I'll be holding it. I wouldn't say to average down yet, but for me, we have to see the close, because we can still wick out right over here, probably curl up in lunchtime, but I am still holding Starbucks, not averaging down yet. We just had a rotation into Dow, into tech, I mean. So yeah, IWM is taking a hit. So Starbucks, I'm watching it. If you're in Apple and Starbucks, that's completely fine. Like you can't be all in Starbucks. So if Apple does hit 138, that would be a 80% on our contracts. Pretty nice. So I'm checking the Starbucks contracts right now. So we're down, yeah, around 32% on the contract. So I just looked at my Thinkorswim. We're down around 32% on Starbucks. So I'm watching this close at support weeks. So mostly just watching it right now. Yeah, just watching. Yeah, so holding Starbucks for now. Not closing it. Also down. Okay. Yeah, so down 30% for on Starbucks. Going to be watching the close. That is where I will decide if I want to cut it or hold it. Great video. So videos. So let's get 5-minute for Starbucks. Very interesting. Yeah, so we kind of just bear flagged right over here. I'm looking at this gap fill for Dow. Apple coming back to retest. Microsoft also flagging right over here. Kind of had this panic. I think Amazon is the main one that I'm concerned about because we're in this channel. So I think Amazon is the only one that I'm actually concerned about. Or other than that, you know, Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, all of them look very nice. So yeah, Microsoft flew past all-time highs right over here. We played this channel breakout a while ago. Trade desk. Okay, so trade desk breaking the downtrend. Some nice volume over here. So yeah, this one looks like something like this. So we broke resistance. The next resistance is at 84, and then 92. Isn't Starbucks at wave 4? So I actually haven't charted the waves on Starbucks. Elliott waves don't work on any most of the stocks. So I don't see any waves on Starbucks yet. I'm also seeing a possible inverse head and shoulder on the daily, so something like I'm seeing a inverse head and shoulder. So let's look at this area right over here is what I'm seeing for Starbucks. And again, we got 2 weeks on Starbucks. So we just have to see how we close on Starbucks. We are below the support right now, so that is the danger zone. Kind of just free falling on Starbucks right now. Which sectors are you looking at? I'm looking at is tech. So QQQ, Apple, Tesla, Starbucks goes with Dow. So we're taking that. But as long as if you're diversifying and you're also in Apple, you're good. In Starbucks, that's. But we're still averaging down and scaling in more. But we are down 30% as of now. The exact contract that I got, I am down 30%. So I'm holding that for now. My mental percent. It's just free falling right over here. Dow is low. And we're still kind of in this downtrend breakout for Dow. So we're still in this channel for Dow. It's concerning. Oh my god. So watching carefully. So watching it very, very carefully. We broke this. Looking at a curl at lunchtime is what I'm looking at. And it's already down like so much with the day. Yeah, AMC looks primed. Let's look at coin. So I'm looking at coin. And let's chart this out. It's kind of, so you have this kind of like a symmetrical triangle for coin. This can definitely go more lower though. So right over here. Similar wave setup to Apple. Oh, I don't see any waves on Starbucks, but Apple looks very nice. 137 price target. Okay, Starbucks is falling right now. We had this major, so we had this resistance. 11 points. Another gap right over here on Starbucks. Oh my. Yeah, so watching for the close. So which sectors I'm looking at? I'm mainly looking at tech and memes right now. So AAPL. I'm looking at tech, small caps, and then memes, AMC, GME. I made a whole video on the watch list for this week and the sectors that I'm watching, so yeah, Peloton is at the resistance right now. Starbucks is the I'm concerned about because that is the only one that I'm down on. But again, I'm watching for this close on Starbucks. We're already down so much for the day, and if you think about it, this is kind of like the bottom, where we kind of curl for the lunchtime. So the main thing that kind of decides for me is if we close above support for Starbucks, and if we don't close at the support, or if we close below, that is when I'm looking to sell out. V. So Visa. So Visa had this double top, probably forming like a ascending triangle. We have this major support, so we have this nice trend line on Visa. Let's look at MasterCard. Oh wow, MasterCard looks very nice. We have this, or Macy's, I mean. So Macy, this has a nice ascending triangle on Macy's. So let's look at like the weekly. Yeah, Macy's looks very nice. I'll post a chart on Discord and Twitter soon. Wow, look at the setup on Macy's. Yeah, I'm definitely posting a chart on Macy's. So I would set a alert at the breakout. Price target would be this wick. Like this wick. So Starbucks, looking at that wick, imagine if we close above support. That would be a very nice play, and that would be just very nice if we close above the support. Again, I'm loving Starbucks, so I'm holding on to my calls. As long as if you got time, you're good. We just got, a rotation, like a mini rotation today. And again, this is a downtrend breakout. So personally, if we close above the support, I'm looking to get more calls, which I'll be alerting later on. So again, I always alert my exits. So I'm holding on to Starbucks. Yeah, I'm loving Starbucks. On here, we just have to close above this. So again, we're right over here. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll probably stream for an hour. But yeah, I'll try to do this once a week. On here, I'm starting to edit out my videos a little bit more professionally. So I really appreciate everyone watching. 500 views, that means a lot to me. Um, you know, thank you for watching all of the videos. If you guys want any tickers, just let me know in the YouTube chat, or just DM me on Discord if you guys want me to chart anything. But Macy looks nice. I thought this was like the MasterCard ticker, but yeah, Macy, I'm watching this, you know, I'm pretty sure like calls, so I usually check option calculator. I can like calculate my profit. So let's look at Macy's. So even like a month out contracts in the money, very cheap on Macy's. So probably get probably like grab a few contracts. Apple. Oh, it's a Starbucks right over here. Thank you. Okay. Starbucks, and then let's look at Apple. Apple looks very nice. You know, we're closing above this bull flag breakout, so I'm seeing 137 this week. That would be like 80% on our contracts. So I can actually calculate profits, and I can show you guys right over here how I can calculate profits on the site. So let's look at Apple. Let's look at our Apple contract that we got a while ago. So we had July 30th expiration, and we had the 129 call. So it's deep in the money now, and we paid around $5 for it. $500 agree on. So I can actually calculate my profits, and as you can see, if we hit 137, that would be around a 80%, 70% gain on Apple. And then keep in mind that we got 2 contracts on our small account challenge. So yeah, Apple looks very nice. Macy's breakout level is 20.22. 20.22 is what I'm watching. Starbucks not holding this support. It's not holding it yet. Apple is pulling back. SPY is pretty flat. Okay, banks are curling up because keep in mind that we have the catalyst after hours. We have the test results. So banks. So they passed the stress test. They're going to announce the payouts today as the winner. So Starbucks is free falling right now. Watching let's look at lunchtime. Lunchtime will be interesting for Starbucks. So we're kind of like curling up now for the Dow. You know, AAL, it's finding the bottom now. It's not a bear, well, it's kind of a bear flag, but you know, we're testing this support many times. So Starbucks is lagging behind right now. We should be hitting the support anytime soon. So I'm watching this gap level, and again I want Starbucks to close above 112. Okay, that is what I'm looking at for Starbucks. Close above 112 we are bullish, close below we are bearish, and most likely we'll be cutting it out. When will you be starting the new small account challenge? So I'm looking to start it I think next month, possibly next month. It's after the tech rotation, so I was thinking to get airlines on our third small account challenge, so probably make another one for airlines, because as I said, airlines look primed. We have this very nice gap, and even 2 months out calls looks very nice on airlines. So I'll make the small account challenge like a month or July 1st, possibly. Depends on the market and how we do with Apple. I'm still holding Starbucks. We are holding Starbucks. I'm watching the close. Okay, so I'm watching the close of support for Starbucks right over here. Just let me know if you guys want me to chart anything. Apple is. So, whew. So on the 5-minute, I'm seeing Dow curl, I'm seeing airlines curl, and I'm seeing tech pulling back. So I'm watching Starbucks to find the bottom, possibly scaling more. Amazon is flagging right now. I'm looking at the side. So we have this ascending triangle, so right around over here. Normal candles, and oh my god, AMC is flagging on the 5-minute, so I can actually pull up charts like this. So AMC is flagging, and let's pull up Starbucks, which is Starbucks, or Q. Let's pull up Q, and then we can do DIA. So the Dow. Let's look at. So the hourly on the AMC looks nice. We have this ascending triangle breakout, and then this one was IW. So this is what I'm watching right now. Snap. So let's look at Snap. Snap daily. So Snap, we already had this major breakout on Snap. We had like a double inverse head and shoulder right over here, and it's kind of pulling back because we had this major resistance, so it double topped right around over here. So I'm watching this to test support at 64, and then bounce off support to go to all-time highs. So I'm watching this support. It's kind of, once we break the downtrend, it's trying to retest the breakout, like we had with Tesla, Apple, and then we have Starbucks. So it's our size like below 20. And then we have Twitter. It's mostly just watching Amazon trying to form a ascending triangle on the 5 minutes. Scan Macy's. So I'm looking to enter in amount out calls on Macy's to play this ascending triangle. So I'll probably send out a alert on AMC right when we hit this resistance. Holding Starbucks right now. Holding Starbucks, not cutting it yet. I have to look at the close, and I have to look at when the real volume gets in. Okay, so I'm looking at that. Holding. So let's see how much I'm down on Starbucks. So again, try to be as transparent as possible. So we're down 38% on our 2-week expiration on Starbucks. So pretty much we got 2 weeks, so like July 9th, and my price target is 115. So I can actually check Starbucks and then the exact contract that I got. So July 9th, 112 call, and I've paid, let's look at, so I've paid 1.94. So price target is around 115. So that would be a 50% gain if we hit 115 by expiration. Okay, and then 100. Let's look at, and our break-even price. So our break-even price is 100. So it's around 114. So yeah, so this is our break-even price on it. And let's look at like 113.60. Yeah. So our next resistance is right around over here, 113.71. So that would be like a 20% on it. Alert on Macy's, please, when you get in. Yeah, so I'll be alerting Macy's, and Macy's looks amazing. This setup looks amazing. I'm looking at 2-week expiration and some month out calls on Macy's. I'm gonna actually make just a simple video on it, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, just explaining my thought process on Macy's. You know, my price target would be 22.32. Now, another thing I like about Macy's is that, so I think this can, this might be like not a bad hold for a couple months, because back to normal, you know, clothing shopping after COVID. I think this might not be a bad swing couple months out. So we kind of broke this downtrend. We have this nice ascending triangle. You can see the accumulation phase where we're down so much and people are just stacking up on shares, either for the long term or just to swing it for a couple of months. So I am loving Macy's right over here on the weekly chart. This might actually have more room to go up. So initial price target is, so our main price target is right over here, 22. Okay, that is our main price target. So we can actually look at contracts. for Macy's. It's ticker symbol M. And let's look at like a month out. So wow, contracts are a little weird. That would be like a 100%, 120% a month out. So definitely will be alerting Macy's. Okay, again, holding up on Starbucks. We're down around 40%. I'm holding it very, very strong. I think I got around 5 contracts 2 weeks out. So I'm holding it very, very strong. Obviously, Apple is carrying our portfolios right now on the small account challenge. I'm not too worried about on Starbucks until we close. So in a couple of hours, we will know if I'm holding or selling. But for right now, I'm holding Starbucks very, very strong. Yeah, so just let me know in the comments if you guys want anything. Loving it. Okay, let's look at the 5-minute. Okay, so we're having another bear flag right over here. Key thing to mind is that, Dow is curling up as of right now and tech is pulling back. So let's look at like a mini rotation into Dow now. Hopefully a curl, and we can see it on AAL. We're having this curl on over here. The close is what it matters. MU, let's look at MU. Okay, so MU has this downtrend breakout. Again, most of the stocks breaking out of the downtrend. So MU broke out of this downtrend, and mostly bullish. A lot of stocks are breaking out. I'm watching this as a resistance 85. I already had it charted out. So I'm watching the resistance 84.88. Looks like a very nice resistance. I think the price target for this week is 84.88. Yeah. Yeah, MU looks bullish. MU earnings coming. Oh, they have earnings? Oh, yeah, very yeah, we might see like a run up. This is our resistance. Yeah, I'm hearing trade desk a lot, but we had a nice breakout on trade desk. IWM, so as you guys can see, I love rotations and I always play rotations. Just watch how tech tech is slowly pulling back right now, and we have Dow trying to curl up and IWM trying to curl up, as well as the stocks on those ETFs. So yeah, MU is interesting. Let's look at Fastly. I'm watching that gap on Fastly. 557. So we've been streaming for 2 hours now. 2 hours. Tesla. Oh my god, what am I typing? Okay. Tesla. Apple. Just trying to like flag right over here. Broke this down. We have July 2nd contracts for Starbucks as well. What about those? So yeah, I did have some this week expiration. Just a small position on Starbucks. Those I'm still holding. It just depends upon where we close. If we close above the support, I'm holding. If we close below, I'm selling. But mostly bullish on Starbucks. So you also have like Disney. So let's remove our drawings. Disney had this downtrend breakout, and again this looks just like most stocks where we're breaking out of this downtrend, and we're retesting the support, and that is the key thing. Are we testing the support, and are we handling it? So if you look at Starbucks, we need to close above it to be bullish. If we close above it, and then we can average down on our contracts, because we can't just be catching a falling knife. We need to know that we have nice support at the close. At the close is when we know that we have strong buyers on the stock. So again, way too early to call what I'll be doing on Starbucks. I'm holding it for now. I'm loving this play. As long as if you got time, you're good. And then the next support that I'm watching is actually 111.19. So yeah, that would be so holding the July 2nd contracts. Macy's looks amazing. I gotta make a video on Macy's, and especially this daily. If we close on that hammer stick, it's going to pump nicely. It's also a very cheap stock. I'm just realizing that this can be a huge play for Macy's. So I'll try to do some DD tonight, and I'm looking to scale in some amount that calls. Amount that calls 2 weeks. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments, or any stocks you guys want me to check out. Should we average down? Depend if we close above support. So again, watching that close is what I'm looking at for Starbucks. Mostly bullish on Starbucks, but depends on how we close, because as you guys can see, we're not even like halfway on the volume yet. So we have like no real volume yet on Starbucks. I'm looking for the real buyers to get in, the big guys later on. But again, thank you for watching. Appreciate 1,000 subscribers. That is a lot, and just thank you for watching. I'll be streaming for a couple minutes. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Are you gonna alert Starbucks for July 2nd and 3rd? So we have the second contracts, and we have the 9th contracts. Way bigger position in the 9th contract. I can actually pull up my Thinkorswim right over here. I might have to log in, but so TD Ameritrade. So this is on the second small account challenge. We put in like 500 on calls. So I'm going to log in. So I'll try to log in right now. So Netflix, I already had a chart for Netflix. We're breaking this downtrend breakout, and we're holding the support, and this is a breakaway gap. So I'm looking at a price target for 550 in the upcoming 2 weeks for Netflix. So mostly bullish on Netflix. So I'll try logging in my Thinkorswim right now, which is the second account. positions. I have the question about the daily gap. So yeah, just tell me the question. I don't use any screeners. I just look at like ETFs, XLK, and kind of find stocks from here, or XLE. Just tell me the question on the gap fills. Apple. So again, Dow having a terrible day. QQQ just killing it. Called rotations. The whole market can't go up. So sectors go up and then they go down, and then a different sector carries the market. So right now we're having tech carry the market. We did have some news pre-market for the airlines, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so Nasdaq carrying the market right now, killing it. Let's refresh this. Can you look at CSGP? It's a private Discord. I can't invite anyone to the Discord. Okay, so CSGP. So let's look at the weekly. Okay, so we have this nice consolidate. We have this major support, major resistance right over here. So it's kind of forming a channel right over here. So yeah, so it's mostly a channel right now. Our next support is 83, and then this is kind of like the major buy zone. What I'm interested on the stock is that we have some massive volume right over here. Oh, they had a stock split. Okay. So yeah, they had a stock split causing massive volume on CSGP. So personally, I would just set a alert right over here, a buy alert. When face reveal, face reveal at 100,000 subscribers. What websites? So I usually look at CNBC. I like CNBC. The Fly is another good one, but mostly Twitter, I guess. Twitter, CNBC. I also like investing.com. If I want to see the futures, it's just way easier. I can see the futures right over here. But mostly very simple on that. I don't use any scanners, so I don't use FinWiz anymore. But CNBC and Twitter is my main go-to when I look at news. I usually have like Twitter alerts, so like Walter Bloomberg or some other Twitter channel. This channel 500 seconds. So I'm looking to alert Macy's anytime soon. So for the support on Starbucks, not using the moving average. So for the support on Starbucks, I'm watching this trend line. So I had the whole chart uploaded when I alerted it. I also mentioned this on the weekly watch list. So weekly watch list top 10 stocks that I'm watching this support. Okay, so the support is at like 112. I'm watching it to close above 100 112. That is the key thing, okay? If we close above 112, it just shows me, I feel more confident that we had a strong sense of buyers and we closed above the support. And again, whenever we break downtrend, it'll come to retest the breakout for it. Can you please look at Airbnb? So Airbnb, let's move this. We have a major wall, so we have a major resistance on Airbnb right over here, and we have this like this. So we have this trend line on Airbnb. So Airbnb looks very interesting. I would kind of say this is the accumulation phase. Again, accumulation phase is where it's kind of like you scale in for the long term, or you just scale in shares, like a steady amount of buyers. So as you can see right over here, we had very nice volume right over here. So I'm actually looking at Airbnb for a possible swing. I'm looking at, so it's kind of like a similar play to Dash. So we had this ascending triangle on Dash, and Airbnb looks very nice. So I'll look at the RSI, it's consolidating. My price target would be, so we have this breakout level. So we have this breakout level, and then we have the price target number 2. So I might leave this on Twitter, but I'm setting a alert calls above right over here. And then this is the price target number 1. And then we have the price target number 2. So this is what I'm looking for Airbnb. Price target number 1, calls above, and then the stop loss, okay? Starbucks, stop loss is the close below. So the key thing is, if we close below the support, yes, we can hit the support and we can cut it, but we can also wick out on. So if you look at Starbucks right now, we are below the support, but we still have room to close above the support, and I don't want to get wicked out on that. So with Airbnb, stop loss right over here, stop loss close below support, and I'll be setting a alert for you guys on Airbnb. Okay, or just a regular chart. I'll post it in a couple of minutes, the chart and the trade plan for Airbnb. But thank you for letting me know in the chat, Roseville. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla was on the weekly watch list, bullish for this week. I was in the watch list. I said I was bearish on tech on Monday because we were retesting this triangle, this support, but we had a mini rotation today with the news for airlines. But yeah, bullish on Tesla. Can you take a look at Bud? Well, never heard of the stock, but let's look at the weekly. Okay, so this looks like a interesting. Okay, so we have this downtrend breakout on Bud, and then we have this trend line. Yeah, okay. So this is my chart for Bud. It's rejecting the resistance. I'm watching this as a support. There's basic support and resistance on this chart. So you have this resistance, the downtrend breakout, and then we have this major zone. Intel thoughts. So Intel has been very weird lately. So what I like about Intel is that we have this gap for Intel. So I would set a alert at this gap fill. But personally, I'm just looking at other plays, and I'm looking at other stocks as like a better opportunity. But on Intel, we are making higher lows, which is good if you're long on Intel. So we're not bear flagging right over here. We bounced off support, and the gap entry is going to act as a resistance. So I would watch for a rejection and another buy to fill the gap in a couple of weeks. We do have earnings on 29th. So have a long call but not moving. Volume might be low on Intel. OCGN. I'll look at OCGN is it was on my watch, but we had this downtrend breakout for OCGN. So it's interesting. So this is my chart for OCGN. We also have a gap at 9.16. So I'll be watching for that gap fill. So we should be filling the gap at 9. It's like a 50-cent move. So if you look at the bigger picture, we're in this channel. Interesting chart for OCGN. Not a okay buy right over here because we're still sitting around this major support. And if you look at 8%, that would be a 85% on just shares. So if you actually think about it, OCGN is not a bad it's not a bad buy. It's below it's around support, it's breaking the downtrend, and then we have this price target of 16. So, shares are very, very cheap. I don't mind just getting 10 shares. Why not? But looks very interesting. So I'm liking OCGN. Since this is a penny stock, always watch the volume. I would set like volume alerts on it, or use some sort of screeners. I don't use screeners though. CVS downtrend breakouts again. For CVS, we do have multiple gaps to the downside, so I'm watching the gaps down below. Let's look at Starbucks. Okay, Starbucks doing. So Starbucks not holding the support right now. Let's look at Apple. Apple trying to push more. So SPY is pretty flat. And Dow is just dying. So Starbucks not holding the support right now. Again, I'm looking at a close at 112. Can Amazon break 3,500 this week? So Amazon is the only tech stock I'm concerned about, but I do have a wait for retracement, and then we kind of had this deformed left shoulder head, and then right shoulder for an inverse head and shoulder. Oh my. So BAC. And then C, I'm watching this gap, so Citigroup. Keep in mind that banks are still in the downtrend, and we do have the after hours catalyst. So mostly a tech rotation right now. Only one I'm concerned about is Amazon. But again, still undervalued. Like Microsoft hit like 2 trillion like last week, and Amazon is sitting at 1.7 trillion. So, and after this massive consolidation, still not a bad buy on Amazon. Thank you, Ori Argaman. I believe that Amazon is undervalued. If you compare the market caps to Microsoft, Amazon and Microsoft, that's like a 30 billion difference. So, or like 300. So I should look at Microsoft stock, and then we look at Amazon. So we can look at the market cap. So the reason I'm bullish for the long run is because the market cap for Amazon is 1.73 trillion, and Microsoft hit just 2 trillion last week. So that is the main case why I am bullish on Amazon. I'm bullish on most of the meme stocks. Again, calls above this area. Meme stocks look very, very strong. I'm watching is AMC. Okay, I'm loving AMC, and then I'm loving Wish. So Wish has this inverse head and shoulder, right over here, and we're still in this accumulation phase. So again, the dip buyers. And also CRSR for the long run, as well as like a meme stock. This is not a bad long-term stock in my opinion. And Wall Street Bets loves this stock because this company does have some great fundamentals. And I'll be making a deeper video on Corsair later on. But I can like view the financials, like everything right over here, on the financials, and I'll be going in a little bit more deeper. A little bit. Let's look at Starbucks. Lunchtime is kind of that at curl up point. If lunchtime is where we take a break and the market starts to reverse. Again, Starbucks not even the half of the volume, so I'm still holding Starbucks. Apple is doing very well though. I don't have my Robinhood in here, but we're sitting at the 1,500 range on our small account challenge. So at 1,544, we're up 20% today, and we're up 54% overall on the small account challenge. And again, 5% a week is the goal. So, what is a rotation? So, rotation is where we have multiple sectors and markets. Okay, so one is we have the tech sector. So Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, and then we have banks. Okay, so XLF, BAC, we have C, WFC, and then we have airlines. So AAL, BA, UAL, Delta. So the point of the sectors is that the whole market doesn't go up. Each sector, each stock goes up. They take turns. So for example, right now tech is taking turn to go up, and banks and airlines are dropping because it's tech's time to go up. So Apple, Tesla, QQQ, because the whole market can't go up. And another thing to realize is that once something is oversold, okay, once, for example, or overbought, okay, once Bank of America is overbought, okay, the investor, the hedge fund manager, they're going to be selling out their shares. And are they going to hold in cash, or are they going to be entering in a new position, a new sector? They're looking at something else. So that is why tech is popping, and airlines are just going down. That is called a rotation. Each sector takes its own turn, and think of it as a board game. As you can see, airlines had a nice run up, and Apple. So we look at Apple, was flat for over a year. Why? Because we had this massive run up on September. So everything just doesn't go up. Each sector, each stock takes its turn. And the key thing is, once tech is overbought, you switch over to banks, and we scale in banks. Banks, airlines. That is why I'm watching airlines, because once we get in that oversold position, I'm looking to enter in to play the airlines sector. So that is how rotations work. I'll be making a whole video on it later on. I have huge plans for the YouTube channel. I want to upload a whole technical analysis series, and just a little bit more complicated, in-depth analysis, like 20-minute videos for you guys on YouTube. So that is how rotations work, and very, very simple on how rotations works. And again, with Starbucks, it goes with the Dow, okay? And Dow is having that pullback. But again, as I said with Starbucks, we are watching that close. We don't have any real volume yet. So at lunchtime, I'm watching it to close above support. I'm looking at to cut if we close below the support. So that is how rotations work. Can you please look at, so EH, oh wow, that's old chart. So EH looks like it's forming a cup and handle. It looks like Neo, oh, it's a Chinese company, so it looks like Neo, XBEV. So it's, most of those stocks are actually curling up around right over here. So it's forming this cup and handle right over here. UPS. Okay. So UPS, first thing was we had this descending triangle, so it was bearish overall. We had this gap, we filled this gap. For UPS, it's looking like a inverse head and shoulder, but the key thing is, again, we're sitting in this accumulation phase where, as you can see, we're getting massive volume right over here because real buyers are getting in to buy the dip. CHPT, another stock, it's curling up. Just, most of the growth stocks are curling up right now. Now is the time to buy. You don't want to be buying at all-time highs. Again, we got an Apple at the bottom. This tweet that I sent out. We are already in a big position on Apple. So, and we have a lot of time. So we're just holding it. We're not selling anything. And again, all-time highs is not the time to buy. So we got a nice entry on, same with Starbucks. We bought it right at downtrend breakout. if you guys have any questions. Let's calculate 45 times. Can you check out Microsoft? So Microsoft breaking all-time highs. It's just starting a uptrend. It's not something I would enter in. Again, Apple, Amazon are undervalued. Amazon is the most undervalued. I might make a whole video on it, and again, the market cap, just compare the market cap against Microsoft. A $2 trillion company, Microsoft, against Amazon, which is 1.7 trillion. That just shows me, or just anyone, how undervalued Amazon is. You're welcome. Algorithm. Look at Uber chart. So Uber, again, we're in this accumulation phase. We're kind of curling up, loading up. We did have this ascending triangle, which failed from earnings. So it looks like they took a hit from earnings. Key thing. Okay, the key thing is, it's not a falling knife. This is not a falling knife because we're making higher lows. So we're making higher lows. Right over here we have this bull flag breakout, and what I would do is I would chart out the demand zone. So we have support. So this is our next rejection. So this is our resistance, and then soon we have this. So something like over here, and then so Uber is right at the resistance. Okay, so right at the resistance. This looks like a nice buy zone. I would say that 52 is a nice support. So I'm expecting something like this, and then just some consolidation right over here to impulse move up. I'll save this chart later on. Something like this for Uber. Lyft is also making higher highs, higher lows. Your Apple position expires 7:30. Yeah, so I picked July 30th, and that is just an overall amazing expiration, because you have to understand that we have earnings on August 3rd. So we have just enough time to play the earnings run up and then to sell before the earnings, because we never want to hold into earnings, because the IV will just increase drastically, and we just don't know what will happen into earnings, because again, earnings is uncertainty and we want to play it safe. And keep in mind that if Apple hits all-time highs by July 30th, we hit 200% on the small account challenge. We're up 50% on the small account challenge as of now, and our goal is 5% a week. Just consistent gains. We want to keep it up for a couple of months and even years. I plan to do this for 3 years. If you think about it, 5% a week. So if you actually check compound interest calculator, and so I can actually check 100, and then we can check 500% a week, and in 3 years that would be like $2 million. So if you think about it, if we stay like this consistently, we can grow it. But again, market won't be bullish all the times. I'm expecting a bigger pullback soon. Right over here. So let's look at PFE. So PFE looks interesting right over here. So Let's chart this out. So we have this kind of have, okay, so this looks like a bearish pattern. It's like a broadening top. It's like Mara. Oh wow, Mara. So Mara, surprisingly, it's making higher lows. So higher lows. Key thing is we're starting to form a uptrend. We have resistance right at this level, and this is a major resistance. So let's pull up right over here. So this is a major resistance right over here. So this is my Mara chart. Thank you. Neo again, growth stocks, it's pushing up. I'm watching these gaps. I think I already did VIC accumulation phase. Thanks for the explanation. How are you so we have the July 30th expiration. So the IV won't increase. The IV will increase after hours or during the actual earnings day. So we're good for that. Like, we're selling before earnings. Yeah, 5% a week is good. You know, realistically, that's still a lot, but keep in mind that I am no financial advisor, but let's clear up this chart. CRWD. CRWD looks like it's breaking out. So if you look at the weekly, it just looks like it wants to push higher to like 300. Big, oh my god. But you having this downtrend breakout, this accumulation phase. So it's just curling right now. Yeah, it's just curling right now. Like all the other Chinese companies where we're starting to curl up. All the growth stocks are starting to curl up. I think I already did PFE. So PFE has. So yeah, this. Oh my god. So PFE has this browning top. So I'll pull a picture of this pattern right over here. So this pattern is bearish. I'm trying to pull up a chart. So this is a browning top. I'll pull up a chart right now. Okay, so this is what I see on PFE right now. So this is a browning top. So something like this. It looks bearish. You know, for now. So this is what I see on PFE. A possible gap fill to the downside. Yeah, bearish on PFE. This is what I see. Just a quick 10-second analysis. So this is. Here is, I'll paste it in. So browning top PFE. I'll paste it on the channel. Yeah, so great day for the small account challenge. For our first small account challenge, Starbucks is not holding the support for right now. It is not holding. So I'm watching. Let's look at Dow. So Dow is starting to curl up. Yeah, okay, so this is what I'm looking at, and we're starting to curl up on Dow. AL. Starbucks is not holding it right now. Disney broke out of this downtrend and we're kind of retesting it. So I'm looking to buy calls. I buy calls like before close. If you close above it, PSTH. Uh, for the long term, I usually look at fundamentals. So doing some fundamental analysis takes some time, but here's the chart. This is like a major downtrend breakout. So I might close the stream soon. So if you guys have any last questions, let me know in the comments. Still holding Starbucks. Yeah, AMC doing very well. So the move usually takes place like after hours, so I'm looking to enter in. And let's look at Starbucks. Fill this gap. Let's watch this support again. 112. We need to close about above 112 on Starbucks. Any last questions? Solar is hot. JKS. Can you link the Discord? It's a private. Wait, I just got an alert on Wish. Wait, let me check. I just got a alert. Okay, so I just got a alert on Wish. So right over here, as you can see, I set a alert for Wish, and we're breaking out of this inverse head and shoulder. So I'm just watching it for now. But again, just please, always set alerts on the breakouts and the charts that I give out. Thanks for the content. Have a good day. Yeah, have a good. I just can't promote a Discord because I'm here for everyone, every Discord. I'm here for you guys on YouTube, Twitter. I'm not in just one exclusive place. So again, I had this alert set. So basically, I get alerts on TradingView through email, through phone number. And just please set alerts on here. So I'm just watching meme stocks right now, and they're at a major breakout level. So we had Wish on the watch list for this week. I've covered Wish on the watch list. So here we're getting the breakout on Wish. So somewhere like right around over here, I had it covered. So yeah, so right around over here I had the Wish inverse head and shoulder, and it's up 7% today. QS accumulation phase. Yeah, so I'm also sending a alert on space. Kind of hope we reject over here to play the cup and handle on over here. So any last questions? I will be closing the stream soon. So Wish is at the breakout on here. Okay, so this is the one on watch. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for everyone for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, it helps out a lot. Road to 2,000, and see you guys next week. I'll try streaming tomorrow, most likely doing it once a week. But any last questions? Stick around. We appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Can we reach out to you? Yeah, you can just DM me on Discord. If we close, so for Starbucks, yeah. So if we don't close below 112, I'm looking to cut Starbucks. If you don't close above 112. Yeah, just DM me on Discord. Firecycle 114. I'll leave my Discord tag.